Hey everybody, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown, where we take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week on various crowdfunding platforms except for BackerKit, because BackerKit is bad and never has anything interesting. Sorry, it's the truth. Let's get into it right away. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for continually supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, if you appreciate the amount of effort and work I put into this series in particular, well, I do it all for you, and you want to throw me a couple bucks, you can. If you don't, I get it. I'm honestly not worth it. I'm not worth it. But if you watch this channel, just, auto hit the like button, because you like me. You like me, right? You like me. That's a little thing that my camera does, so I had to stall for time, and I've clearly been experimenting with it, and it's silly. Anyway, let's go! Throw ourselves a party. Here we go. And we're going to start off. Anyway, we're going to start today with Gold Nugget. Gold Nugget, which is something that I missed last week. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm making it right. I'm making it right because it's by Two Tomatoes Games and because you mentioned it in the comments. Always, as always, I like hearing from you. I love hearing from you, in fact. And I want to check this one out. I really like Two Tomatoes Games because I really like Peak Oil and Peak Oil Profiteer. Well, I don't know if I like Peak Oil yet, but I like Peak Oil Profiteer. So I want to check this one out, even though it has already funded. You can see that it's raised $26,951. So let's check it out. It also says the word deceive and bluff in it, so obviously I'm interested. It says you can choose to be the mighty bear and any other captivating animals. Yeah, more like capturing animals. More like keeping people as captives animals. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I don't think I have, because it's been subtle, but my entire family was unfortunately, horrendously, and just completely kidnapped by bears. Yeah, they weren't partially kidnapped by bears, they were completely kidnapped by bears, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting to think about. All right, you're trying to find the raven's golden nugget before the raven comes back to their nest. Quick deduction game. From what I can tell, there's going to be a bunch of little stones in the middle, and one of them will probably have a golden nugget on the back of it. Uh-oh. I want to read the review. I want the gameplay. But you have to watch out for trap stones. You've activated my trap stone. Feathers will clear out your den, so it'll send all the things you've collected to the nest. And then you can play special powerful cards that will let you take things from other people. And finally, the raven returns. You can play one more card. Everyone closes their eyes. And then you grab the gold nugget? Okay, I really like this this idea that whatever you're doing, that the closing your eyes aspect and grabbing, kind of like the hand-to-hand wombat one, the wombat card game. It's not a wombat card game. You're building as wombats. Doesn't matter. The fact that everybody can close their eyes, 3, 2, 1, and then has to grab the nugget, that seems funny to me, because I was just like, well, there's a flaw in this game. Once you know where the nugget is, you just keep on passing it back and forth between people. But you can't lose track of the shell game aspect of it as well. I don't like these alternate win conditions. I don't know why you would want to play those in the game, because then it's just like, haha, you know that the end that everyone was building for? Nope, I have the thing that changes that, and now I win. Seems kind of cute. You don't need any of these mini expansions. This retail version is going to be completely fine. Provisional rulebook, yeah, I want to check that out, in case I'm missing something. Number of gold nuggets per player, okay. Everybody gets their own animal, I like that, which has a unique power. Okay, so you're going to have your eyes closed for the majority of this game, and so you have to say your stuff out loud, but that also deals with the problem of, okay, I just took the gold nugget, and now it's in front of me. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of fun. Depends on how long the game is. So you can keep on taking actions. You wake up, you open your eyes, you draw cards, you can play as many cards as you want, and do things, and then you learn things in the night. So honestly, that makes me dislike the lightning bolt cards a little bit less with the different win conditions. Once all animals have passed a card or played, they must cover their eyes with both hands while keeping their eyes open. Whoever has the white feather counts to 3, and all animals must simultaneously draw a stone from the nest or any den. The remaining stones are returned to the nest, and all stones stolen in this manner are revealed. Whoever has the golden nugget of the possession wins, but if it's in the nest, the big raven wins. I'm confused. I'm confused. Both, because here, both hands are over my eyes, or here, both hands are over my eyes with my eyes open. So I think it's probably like this, in which case, it's just silly. So I think it's like that, and then you go 1, 2, 3, grab, or you gotta do this, 1, 2, 3, look, grab, and orient yourself. I'm not quite sure about that. I think that needs to be a bit clearer. But the sketch of the game is this. You wake up, you go to sleep, and I think the concept of closing your eyes and opening your eyes sounds kind of neat. Forest Heart, for sure. This is all you need whatsoever. 2250, that feels reasonable. 45, no, that's stupid, and nobody should get it. Sorry to everybody who pledged that, but no, 2250 feels decent. What was shipping? Let's see. Oh, these are just the little add-ons. The Skunk Mini expansion. Oh no, it's one card. Who cares, right? Doesn't matter. It just gives you the illusion of interest. 12 euros to get to the US, so you're looking at 36 bucks, 40 bucks US to get to your house. That's not bad. 18 to get to Canada, so I'm looking at 40 euros. That's like $60 to get to me in Canada. I probably wouldn't pay 60. I'd probably pay 40 though, if you think this could get to the table. I mean, it's really light. The gimmick might outstay its welcome a little bit. It's a warm-up filler game, so you might have too many of those already. But definitely looks neat. I'm sorry that I missed it last week. For sure, sorry. So if you're interested in that, it's already finished, but you can late pledge over on GameFound. Link, as everything, will be in below. Let's check this one out. Maybe. Heavy Lies the Crown, a medieval murder mystery game. Uncover a medieval mystery in this print and play social deduction game for 5 to 7 players. If you want me to be interested in it, I'm gonna just put social deduction and also mystery, because I love a good mystery. I love solving the mysteries, and that's why I'm always peeping through your windows. What? No, officer. That was not. You cannot hold that against me in a court of law. Oh wait, is this garbage one that I already looked at and cut? Probably. I think it just got extended. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, there was a garbage one that looked like garbage, but I don't know if this is it. I don't think it is. Okay, that video told me nothing. But it's a murder mystery game for 5 to 7 players. 3 to 4 hours of playtime, because assuming you're going to be talking amongst each other, I think. Somebody in our Discord was asking about murder mysteries, and I've also never played one. I don't know if I responded to that thread or not. I've never played one, but I've always wanted to. I've always thought it was really interesting or funny. I bought one for my brother once upon a time. I bought one for an ex-girlfriend of mine who didn't invite me when she had that party. Thanks a lot, Katie. We don't really talk anymore. She was kidnapped by a bear too. That's how the relationship ended. After an eventful afternoon, you've all gathered at the laid table, all except the king. The anticipation of a lavish banquet quickly evaporates when, after some waiting, you receive the shocking news. The king has been found dead in the chambers. I don't know why that was kind of Palpatine there. Yes, good, young Jedi. You and your guests take on the role of main suspects. Gameplay. In this mystery game, you're gathered at the murder. After the murder took place, try to collect your memories. Oh, you're trying to collect your memories. Ah, yes. I'm sorry, officer. My memories are scattered about the countryside. Give me one moment, and then I'll be able to tell you what happened. With each round of the game, you will recall more memories of the evening and the course of events. You're sobering up. That's what you're doing. Each of the 3 rounds deals with a different time period of the evening of the crime. At the end of the game, the players vote together on who should be arrested as a suspect. This feels like a one-shot. Communication-focused game, only a few rules, no prefabricated dialogue. Role-playing and the shared mystery are the main focus. What do you need to play? A printer or smartphone to access your playbook during the game. Here are the suspects. Eleonora. Lord. I know it's Yord or Jord, but I'm calling him Lord. No, I'm calling him Yord. Imposing and proud, but has he neglected his duty, the personal guard? Arvid, the steward. Well, you know it's Arvid. Anybody with the name of Arvid, come on. Your name's Arvid, you're 100% the murderer. Tylerius, the tutor. Gouda, the envoy, the guest of honor. Wow. Mortimer, the cleric. And LeFou, the jester. Well, yeah, I would be LeFou. As with other mysteries or thriller stories, you'll know the outcome of the game after you solve the case. 10 euro for a print and play, $15 Canadian. I don't know. I don't know if I would take the risk for that amount. I know it's print and play, I know the other sort of stories you get, but all you have is a sketch right now, which is fair, it's Kickstarter, but all you have is a sketch right now. You don't have any previous projects that you can show or unveil the secrets. You don't even have the rules of how it's going to work, the different rounds, right? You have that each round deals with a different time period, but like, give us an example. Give us an example which doesn't ruin the secret. Dang, I really like the concept. I like the murder mystery. The characters feel fun and feel like they could be role played. So I don't know. Maybe it's worth £10 to. It's not worth £10. If it was £5, then I'd say go for it. £10? I don't know. I do know. I'm not doing it. That's what I know. But if you're interested, that finishes Wednesday, October 18th at 1:30 p.m. and let me know how it is. Moving along to One Card Maze. Get lost on one card. $2 US for one card of mazes. Waiting for a coffee, doom scrolling, killing time. You need One Card Maze. Whereas you could just look at your phone, but here you have a 5-minute wallet-sized puzzle. You trace it, you spin it, you bop it. Oh no, you flip it. You scrunch it. Oh no, you don't. You back it. Oh, you back it. You print it. Play it. Honestly, Bop It slaps, and I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. Bop It's the OG. Bop It's the OG time-killing game. You can sit at a doctor's office, you can pull out a one-card maze, yeah, be inconspicuous, or you can pull out a full game of Bop It and see the looks that you'll get. For $2, you get 18 little mazes. I guess I'm gonna move this way, but then you gotta turn things. Here are the promo mazes. I just don't understand what these little arrows do. How to play. Move through the doors if the arrow on them is upright. Use spins to rotate the whole card. Oh, okay, so you could move through a door if it's upright, so then you gotta rotate it and then move and rotate it and move. It means it's locked. So here's the instructions, and then you gotta turn your head. I guess I'll do that for you. This flip icon, which allows you to flip the card. So this spin icon, which allows you to rotate the card. Oh, okay, so you have to go to you can go through here, and then you must touch the spin icon, which allows you to rotate. That makes it a little bit more interesting than just rotating the card. You actually have to go back to a spin, and then that makes it a bit of a puzzle. Sure, $2. That's interesting to you. Check it out. $3 New Zealand, $3 Canadian. Oh, our dollar has dropped so far. We're on par with the New Zealanders. Check that out if that interests you. That finishes Thursday, October 19th at 12:30 a.m. Moving along to, this funded? I clicked on this. Oh, God. I can't believe this funded. We've got Dicktective. Woo! That's right. Dicktective, a game for adults, not for your kids. This ain't no child's birthday party up in here. No, I said this ain't. I said this ain't. Well, here's the game. You get a category and you draw a dick that looks like it should be in that category. Because penises are funny. Ah! I mean, the Dicktective puts on the mask, coincidentally, is a very specific instruction in another game. Devilish dice! I know you thought I was going to say Spicify. Keep them guessing. No. This is dumb. And it's dumb because I can't draw. So, there you go. I mean, what more is there to say about this? What I will say is I have been wrong in Dicktectiving before. And if people haven't watched that Netflix parody of Making a Murderer, American Vandal, seriously, I thought this would be just horrible and like it was taking the piss out of the genre and not in an intelligent way. It is actually so well made. If you've never seen it, you got it. Anyway, that's my tangent. That's honestly why this made it still in there. Don't check this out. Yeah, I don't. We're moving on to Tawa. But hey, $44,000 it's raised, so I guess that's what Dick Humor is gonna get you. I just think it's so odd. It's so odd that people would spend their free time drawing penises. I just go to the bathhouse and I can see them for free. We're moving on to Tawa, the wood art travel game. Grasp Tawa's rules in just 5 minutes and dive into a game lasting a mere 10. Your favorite companion for travel downtimes. Is it the best travel game? Well, we're about to find out. This game looks, fine. Look at this handcrafted home decor as narrated by someone who did their Price is Right audition. I also love they said, this can stay in your house as handcrafted home decor, and then they just throw a rock at it and it all falls down. That's number one of the things that I enjoy about this video. Number two is I enjoyed the joy from the creator. And I love that he gets into a car to tell you about something and then leaves the car. We see him leaving the car as well. It's why did you get into this car? And then here he's traveled home from his very long journey, and so of course there has to be a little break at the end where he stops talking and he rinses his hands, but doesn't use soap. Horrible practices. And then here the best part is the freeze frame which is not a freeze frame, but it's just him freeze framing at the end. Just fantastic. Just kept me watching until the very end. I was like, what is going to happen next? Your best traveling companion, where you can take a little rock and you can stack it on another rock. Whoa. You roll a dice too. You'll never get bored in an airport. You will never get bored in an airport. I don't care if you've got a 24-hour layover, in which case, why are you still in the airport? You know you can leave and come back. You just have to go through security. It's fine. But you will never get bored if you have Tawa. You're not going to want to leave. You're going to want to build your Tawa over and over and over again. Transport Tawa, a hotel Tawa. Well, you can leave them on the floor if you need them to be cleaned in the hotel. A park Tawa, you can sit on it. Outdoor Tawa. And an anywhere Tawa. And they still don't tell you how to play. They just say, we see dice rolling, and then you stack stuff. Oh, how to play. You roll a dice. Then you create a tower with only one hand, based on the number. And if you succeed, then you succeed. So you get to play the same game over and over again. You get to roll the dice, and you get to make a block. And you know, okay, I can make that block stacked pretty high. So you just keep doing it. You just keep doing it. You just keep making the same stack over and over again. 63 Canadian. To the 731 of you, I say, I wish I had 731 friends to buy my thing. Not a fun game. But if you think it is, check it out. That's Thursday, October 19th at 12:59 p.m. As we always know, my opinions are garbage. And I freely accept that. Moving along to Sirens, Defrag, and 16 Candies. A tiny game series. 3 unique and addictive tiny games in one box, because Envy Born needed something to put on those shelves. Didn't they make those? Didn't they make the shelves? Oh no, they didn't make shelves. This is the creators of Mind Your Business, or at WSBG. I didn't ever meet them, but I walked by their booth and I saw Mind Your Business. 3 games, 3 tiny games. I'm interested. Let's check it out. So we've got 3 games here. We've got card drafting and musical composition of Sirens. We've got a puzzly scenario booklet that scales in difficulty, and we've got light set collection and candy eating. I wonder which one I'll choose. Move over, Molly Ringworm, because I'm about to get gut rot instead. Molly Ringworm is what I call the worms that live in my stomach. It's just kind of cute. It's just kind of cute. That Creed Bratton sold me. Moving along. Sirens is for 1 to 2 players. Little drafting game where you're going to draft cards in 2 to 3 rounds to construct a song to lure sailors away from their ships. What's kind of cool about this one is that there's a little app that goes along with it so that you can scan the cards and it'll play your tune. Although they do have notes on them, so you could just play it yourself if you had a piano or knew how to read music. This is cool though. Draw 1 card from the deck to determine the universal rule for the round. Then you deal players 4 cards, which they'll draft, and then you build the song. So it's the first person to win 2 rounds wins. We got 2 manuals. Basically what I want to know. They did a pretty good job in explaining it, but what I would be interested in is knowing what the universal rule is. Tell me the examples of the universal rules. Anyway, you're going to lock 3 cards in, and then you're going to draft more cards you can put on either side, but you can't change the orientation of those 3 cards. That makes sense. Points are awarded through hearts, parts, flarts, and blarts. The title of the movie number 5. So it's very simple chaining together, right? Like, this wants to be followed by green. This wants to be followed by green. Well, they all want to be followed by green. These are the charms that you can link together as well. Each card wants to be beside another card. That's the crux of the game. Oh, these are the universal rules. Okay. I thought they'd be a little bit more interesting. I thought they'd be ruled. Single card parts are worth -1 point. Flow steps are only worth 1 point each. Draft 7 total cards into your song. Okay. Only contiguous groups of hearts will score. Double your heart total. So just like little tweaks. Yeah, it's fine. It'll be good as a small little card game. And the app element to it adds a lot, I feel. Let's move on to the next one, Defrag. Hand management grid puzzle game. You're rearranging and consolidating various files. This is just a solo game. It says there's a 2-player rulebook, but there's a little asterisk that says, listen, it's going to shine as a solo game. But we're adding this in because people are dumb and they want to play games that aren't optimal. That's what it says. Just trust me. Deal 8 cards to the table, deal 2 cards to yourself, deal 1 card off to the side to the recycle bin, and the rest of the cards are in a drawing deck. Oh, okay. So when there's no cards remaining, you score 1 of the 4 main file types. Then you choose like a stack of cards you can score. Okay, cool. Is it just like the amount of symbols on it though? Oh, and there's just a number of scenarios. I see. So there are specific ways to set it up. So you always have to play it face up, and then the middle thing indicates the action that you take, and then before taking the action, that's how you can rotate adjacent cards, so you can match different actions or different symbols that are beside. I'm just wondering why you wouldn't stack it all into one spot. Oh, okay. A turn consists of playing 1 or 2 cards from your hand into an empty space in the grid. So that's how you're manipulating things. You're putting it down, and then you're going to create a new empty space, etc., etc. All right, let's move on to 16 candies. 2 to 4, 20 to 30 minutes. Starts with a stash of delicious candy, which will double as their health pool. But when you eat your candies, you're out of the game. So each player is going to get 3 cards and 16 delicious pieces of candy.
Somebody say candy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love the tasty little treats and the tasty little treasures.
I do not.
There's
I
16,
do not like that. I don't like that. No.
That's my favorite number.
Yeah, we're talking about candy
I love it when
here.
It's 16. Sweet treats and treasures.
Sweet treats and treasures. Jesus Christ.
Yes,
call it, you say. If a player thinks they have the most candy, they may on their turn call.
I've got candy.
Go. No, I don't. Oh, that's the only thing I can hear now. Then you reveal your hands. The player with the lowest hand must eat the penalty candy. You have the most candy when somebody's eliminated. You win. So you could play this with real candy. Yeah, you can use real candy if you want. And then you have to eat your candy. And you get more candy. Yeah, that's the way to play it. See if there's anything else. No, it's 1 page. It's literally 1 page of rulebooks. I've got candy. This isn't the full. It's not the full. Oh, that's the back. There's the front. That makes sense. You draw 1 card, you discard 1 card. You discard into the discard pile. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, these all seem kind of fun. Print and play for all 3? $8? That's really good. Yeah, you know what? $15 is not bad for each individual game as well. I was thinking, I want these to be 10, so naturally they're going to be 20. And we found a happy medium, which honestly doesn't happen, very rarely happens in Kickstarter. Usually it's exactly what I was expecting. All-in game bundle says 60 crossed out and 39. Well, not quite 60, it's just 3 of them. It's just 3 of them, so it'll be 45. Nobody cares about your weird pricing, but that's okay. You still get $6 off. 39 for all 3? That's not bad. I mean, it'd be 53 Canadian. And then shipping. What's shipping? Shipping to the US, $10 for the 3-game bundle, 13 to Canada. So it'd be like 52 to get to Canada. It's like 70, a little over 20 Canadian for each game. Not horrible. Honestly, I think all of these have their merits and look fun, and there have been much worse games on the internet. I think Sirens seems the most interesting to me because of the musical nature, getting to play the songs, that sort of stuff. But yeah, they all look all right. If you're interested in that, it finishes Thursday, October 19th at 5 p.m. Moving along to Paragons, Age of Champions. Relaunch, an all-in-one high fantasy drafting, deck construction, trading card game for 1 to 3 players featuring over 100 unique cards, designed by a single artist. Duel your opponents in the 2-player standard game mode. Yes. Clash in a 3-for-all mode. Yes. Or tackle scenarios in the new solo campaign mode. This is a relaunch. I want to take a little bit more of an in-depth look at this because these people emailed me once upon a time and I never got back to them because, well, I got busy. They said, oh, you reviewed our thing on Crowdfunding Countdown and you said trading card games are predatory. And I was like, well, where's the lie? And they're like, but ours isn't. Ours is actually fun. We'll send it to you. And I went, I don't want it. But it was very nice, a very nice offer. But so I want to take a deeper look into it. I want to make sure I really have all my facts right, because when they also sent me an email, I was like, literally, I must have been in one of the fugue state crowdfunding countdowns, which happen from time to time, because I could not remember a single thing about it. And the fact that I couldn't remember a single thing about it means maybe I didn't do as deep a dive as I should have. So we're deep diving, baby. We're going to make sure we really make sense of this game. And if this was someone else, well, congratulations. You're getting me a really, really deep dive. Of course, to you all at home, it'll probably look exactly the same. But I swear, I actually care about this one, and not the other ones that I fake. Yeah, this one. Paragons was made to offer a TCG-like experience that is affordable and accessible without compromising on the fun gameplay or high-quality art that characterizes the best of what this genre has to offer. If you like any of those games, any trading card game at all, you are going to love Paragons and save hundreds of dollars every year for making the change. See, I like that. I like that as a concept. Maybe I was mistaken last time and that I thought it was a trading card game and I got mad because I hate trading card games. So if you're not a trading card game, we're maybe interested. But if you're just a game that has a bunch of expansions, then you're a trading card game and you're just pretending not to be. This is a great picture, though. All that glitters is Grem. Very funny. How to play. And then we'll get to the rulebook. The standard game mode. Yes, that's all we really care about. Because the standard 1v1 mode is obviously the only good one. A 3-person clash never works. It's not that fun in Dice Throne. It only works if like you really love the game and you want to just play that game with an extra person. And you're going to sacrifice a little bit of like quality of the game, but that doesn't matter because you want to spend the time with all the people that you're spending time with. I get that. I get that a little bit more. Yeah, you're choosing your Paragon. You're building your armies. Build your deck from a mix of greater and lesser mercenaries. Okay, cool. So you got like your legendaries and your standards to make your hand. And then in Paragons, positioning is everything. So another sort of lane battler. Your melee cards in the front, your caster cards, wherever they can do the most damage. Supercharge your deck. Make good use of your Paragon's unique imbuement, spells, traps to exploit your opponent's weakness. Carve your way to the enemy Paragon. Control the battlefield. Then there's a solo mode where you can play against the automated enemy. It's interesting because it seems like you're drafting from the pool and putting them right into battle, which could actually be interesting. Yes, please. We'll look a little over halfway down the page. See you in hours. 12 pages. Actually, that's not too bad. That's funny. If 2 more players wish to play the same Paragon, it's resolved with a game of rock, paper, scissors. You can still play rock, paper, scissors, even if the player chooses a different Paragon class. Are you ready? Are we going to do it right now? I want the warrior. Paper, scissor. Good old rock. Nothing beats that. Poor Chris. He always chooses rock. Well, that's cool. Ranger drafts before the mage, before the warrior, because you're quicker. Greater mercenaries cost 5 to 6 or 7 mana until all are taken. Well, there's 14 of them. Are there any components? No, the components are at the top of this page. 26 greater mercenary cards. Okay. And maybe, probably a couple more in stretch goals. I'm going to assume 2. I don't know what that is or care. For each of the 2 rounds, you get 18 lesser mercenaries. Cool. And therefore less mana to play. Yeah, that makes sense. So you'll have acquired 17 greater mercenaries, 18 lesser mercenaries, and 30 class cards for a total of 55 cards. From this, you then must compile a deck of exactly 30 cards of your choice, which are used to defeat the opponent. Okay, so you don't actually have to use any of the mercenaries you want. You could just use your standard deck. This is Deck Construction, the board game. If you like deck construction, this is it, but it gives you a little bit of the draft. Honestly, the draft reminds me a little bit of the arena mode in Hearthstone, which used to be one of my favorite modes. So I'm into it. I like this setup. But what's the fighting like? You have a combat board where you can play up to 8 mercenaries, 2 deep and 4 across. Let's see if we can get some pictures to supplement this. Probably not. Kind of over here. Let's just pick this. Kind of over here. Because that's in the deluxe, you can get this playmat. Here's your playmat, right? The Ranger playmat. $7. Boom, boom. The mana threshold is how much mana you start with a given turn. I bet you start at 1 and you go up to 10. You do. It's Hearthstone. I can't really fault that one in growing system. I think it's a really smart system and a smart one to steal. Even if players respond with cards that nullify a card's effect to prevent it coming into play, you've spent the mana. You can play mercenaries anywhere you want. Positioning is important, so you can bump mercenaries to somewhere else. That's kind of interesting. This is important too. If a mercenary survives combat, it remains damaged until the start of the next player's turn, and then it's fully healed. So your mercenaries are always, you basically just have to one-shot every card. And you can play spells whenever you want. A player loses when their life total is reduced to 0, if they need to draw from their deck and you can't, or if they at any point exhibit remarkably poor sportsmanship. Yes, seriously. It's like, hey, you're a dick, you lose. Love that as a rule. Very funny. Then just a bunch of keywords. Okay. Well, I don't know what Past Chris was thinking. Past Chris probably saw LCG and thought you were predatory garbage people. But present Chris is going to check out how much you're costing, and then I'll tell you. £34, £35, $60 Canadian, plus shipping. Where's the shipping at? That's just for the base. Really good shipping, though, to the UK. Canada, £9 shipping, so that's like 17. But incredible shipping for the UK. That's great. What does this do differently? Well, I guess the drafting. That's what it does differently from most normal 2-player head-to-head card games. The positioning on the board, yeah, I guess that's interesting. It's not bad. It's just not my genre. And for, $80, that's not something that I'm ever going to really consider. Do I think I should play it? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know if I would be the right person, if I was to even take a review copy. But I do love the things that it steals from Hearthstone, the starting 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana. I think that mana curve particularly interesting. I do love the drafting. I love that there's so much focus on the drafting, and then that you construct your decks together against each other. That at least makes it feel like the deck construction is part of the game, and you can chat while you do it. You're sitting with the same person. I think there's actually a lot of merit to this. So I don't know what I said about it last time, but I should go back and check that out, honestly. This was way back, episode 56. I stand by it. I think it was pretty funny. I think it was a funny bit and a funny segment, and I stand by it wholeheartedly. I'm basically thinking what I'm thinking now. We're the Paragons to save trading card games by putting everything in a box until it does well and we do a bunch more expansions that you're going to need to get. But it's just a board game. It's just a board game. It's a drafting game, deck construction with the Hearthstone base rules. I don't know what to tell you. I've told you pretty much all that I can. Past Chris even told you more. Past Chris did his due diligence. I stand by him. Thank goodness. I did read through it all. You can get these hollow foil cards, so if you want to unlock them and have one person keep a hollow foil card, so that when you play the next time and they draft a character, they can use the golden hollow card of the character. Well, then you can spend an additional double the money on that. And I just think that's, I guess it's fun for people who want it. Pledged 86 times. Honestly, it's pledged 86 times out of most. That's the majority of the backers wanted it. So what the hell do I know? It is their biggest seller. Your very smart marketing is what helped you get funded. 86 times. That's over half the backers. Without it, you would not have been funded. So I'm not even going to disparage you about it. But it's silly. But sometimes we like silly things. Anyway, Paragons, I think you look fine. If you like two-player head-to-head card games, well, this is one of those in a sea of two-player head-to-head card games. Let's move on. That finishes 2023. That's the year. That finishes October 19th, Thursday at 6 p.m. Moving along to Storyburg, an adventure story deck building game. Dorothy, Peter Pan, Alice, and Lil Nemo team up in this co-op or solo, or we don't want to alienate the solo players, because most solo players know that they can't play co-op games by themselves. It's an undeniable fact. No co-op game is allowed to be played solo ever. But this one is, so it's different. Story campaign designed for adults, but kids love it too. Look at you with your price right at the top of the page. Good for you. It says it's $49, but it's actually $59 now if you want it. 73-page campaign storybook. Choose your own adventure style. Yeah, give me the rule book right here. Give me the rule book for anything useful on the page, so I'm fine with this. Cool. There's a way for hands-on learners to learn, which is always great. You can shop, you can boss, you can minion, or you can shop. Like Liz Lemon. Chocolate. Shop. So this to me looks a lot like a big old narrative adventure. That's what it is. It's a big old narrative adventure with these different characters, and you can level up your characters as you go throughout the game, as evidenced by this page that I'm on. Equipping a card. If playing Chapter 1, continue playing. Playing Chapter 1, continue playing. You can see that these are directing you to come back to this rulebook as you're learning. And so playing through the game, it's going to be like, hey, you're going to get some equipments. What are equipments? Go to this page. Great, now continue playing the game. Oh, did you hit some conditions? There are some conditions here. Now continue playing the game. That's what this rulebook is structured into. And I like that. I think that makes it easy for everybody to learn. Makes it less easy for me to teach, but makes it easy for people to learn on the fly, so that's great. Building up your dice pool. Your dice pool? I thought this was going to be a deck builder. But players need to roll dice when it's during a battle. Anyway, here's a player turn. Your main activity, which is designated by the story, sometimes you get a choice between revealing and playing a path, helping defeat a challenge, or attacking a minion and a boss. You can play cards, you can buy cards, you can refresh the cards of what you can buy. Overall, you're just going to be completing that test. And so it's hard to talk about the gameplay loop because it is so baked into the narrative. Even in this how to play section, it's just like, hey, you play actions and equip cards. You go shopping, you build your deck. Like there's not a lot that they can highlight because it is so baked into that sort of narrative element. So I think like the key here is if these characters and this art style appeals to you, then it's something to consider. It's going to feel like very choose your own adventure. Even the example that Professor Meg did over on the Board Game Co. channel that she said so gleefully, saying, oh, we're seeing if we help Bo Peep. You did help Bo Peep and you couldn't find what she was looking for, and so you lose 2 hearts of stamina. But you tried your best. And I just thought that was the friggin' sweetest thing in the whole world. But that's what this is, right? It's a series of choose your own adventure style. As if Dungeons & Dragons and Kingdom Hearts had a game, baby, yeah, you have your own little player mat, you have your own little stats, and then you're going to roll for checks. So it's $59. We're going to assume it's $59 because the Kickstarter, there's only 3 left, and it'll probably be gone by the time this video comes out. So it's $59, $80 Canadian, and then plus shipping, which is an additional $23 to get to Canada, $14 to $18, so $18 to the US. Just always assume it's the highest number. If you buy 2 games, though, you can save on shipping, which I'd always love to see. But still, for me, it's like looking at about $100. $100 for a fun game, but this feels very Lands of Galzir style. If Lands of Galzir interested you, this feels maybe a bit lighter than that, a little less story, because that one had like 3 friggin' story books. This one only has 1. Sorry, Storyburg. You have less story than other games. It seems okay. I just think it's a little bit expensive after shipping for what I personally would get out of it. But if you like that choose your own adventure, I think if you have kids, probably a fun game to get them in. Or you like this sort of world. Definitely looks like a neat game. But it's hard to put my finger on it, even after reading through the example and envisioning, because I don't have the actual envisioning of the game in front of me. And so it's meant to have the game in front of you and to learn through doing. And those games are always sort of narrative foot first. Sometimes you like, sometimes you don't. Anyway, if you're interested in that, it finishes Thursday, October 19th at 5 p.m. Moving along. Gotta get a little bit quicker. Oh no, I just saw what's next. But before we get there, we have Forage, the final installment of the 9-card solitaire game trilogy, following Orchid and its sequel, Grove. I don't know why I said Orchid. Forage. Now, Grove, if you remember Grove, you're laying cards on top of each other and they're kind of building up, or maybe it was Orchard. This seems to be very similar. Its 18 cards show the different types of woodland areas where you'll find wild blackberries, sweet chestnuts, and edible mushrooms. Yeah, you'll find them there. I don't do drugs. I don't know. But yeah, mushrooms. Woo! Oh, cool. The card backs have recipe challenges to provide a win and lose condition as an alternative to the standard game's beat your score. I like that. So how does this one play? Shuffled 9 of the 18 cards, place them face down, recipe side up, form a draw pile. The other 9 cards are not used for this game, so that's where the replayability comes in as well, because you're only using half of the deck, and so the combos are there. If there's no die, it becomes a 1. Basically, whatever you layer on top, it increases the value of your dice when you layer that thing over top. I don't know why this didn't. The sweet chestnut is not increased. Why is that? Oh, if a split area overlays, then the die area is placed on the split area without changing its value. But you can overlay something on a split area to increase value, just not another split. You can't split a split. So it's Grove. It's Grove and Orchard. It plays exactly the same way. It's just with different colors and 3. You're not bursting trees up. You go from 3 to 6 to 10 to 15 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks exactly the same. But I've always thought that looked good. So there you go. $5 shipping to the US, $6 shipping to Canada, and it's $15. As far as these smaller games go, I've heard nothing but good things. I think the concept is really good. It's not for me. I think I would get pretty bored. I don't think, like, again, I'm not a solo gamer, so I would never like pull this out for me personally. But I can appreciate the concept without having it hit for me personally, and that's something that I do with this one. So if you are a solo player and you like those sort of spatial puzzles or anything button shy, I think this is worth looking into. That finishes Thursday, October 19th at 8 p.m. Good shipping, good price, and a solid game design. All of which I assume will not be the case for this next game. It's raised $250,000? How are there that many people who like the Night Cage out there? This is fake. You know, I believed in Kickstarter up until now. Next up, we got the Night Cage, Shrieking Hollow. Yeah, I gotta stay on this side, so I'm out of the sun. I know what's some sort of shrieking that's gonna happen here, and it is me looking at this campaign. 1 to 5 player expansion for the Night Cage. Something lurks within the labyrinth's deepest depths. Only your candle can keep it at bay, and I know all of you are just reveling that I have to look at this thing. But thankfully, the Night Cage is so basic and boring that the rulebook will be easy to get through. Let's see what sort of twists and turns this adds to the typical draw a card and play it. I bet this video is going to be 95% atmosphere, and then it's going to show you images, like brief images of what things lurk in the dark, and it's gonna be like, whoa, whoa, and all those tiles are gonna be like, hey, if you flip this up, you gotta sidestep 1 space. Calling it all right now. Let's see how right I am. Because I've never been wrong about the Night Cage. But hey, maybe they put my review on the page. They probably put my review on the page. Legitimately, if they put my review on the page, I will back this game. My review is not very favorable. But if it is on this campaign page, I am going to buy 10 copies of this game. I will purchase 10, because I'm assuming it's like $50, right? Oh god, that's a lot of money. Okay, maybe not 10 copies. I will purchase, but it's got to be something absurd, because they're not putting it on. Okay, yeah, 10 copies. There's no way it's on the campaign page. And if it is, honestly, oh, that's a lot of money. I'm buying 10 copies. Let's see. But first, there's this. Oh, look, atmosphere. Yeah, ooh, spooky, making you think there's something exciting here when there really isn't. That's the problem. Like, the art here is so good. It's so good. Like, the art is awesome here. It's just the gameplay is so utterly trash. That's how I feel. Oh no, that's scary. I'm sorry, did they just say best-selling? How is this best-selling? I mean, I was right. Look at the little glimpses of the villain there. All right, so what it does is it just puts a timer on the game. Whoa, wasn't there already a timer on the game? Yeah, it was that if your candle goes out, you die. But that wasn't good enough, because you could also kind of just cheese the game by jumping into pits and then teleporting wherever you wanted. And so they're like, no, you can't do that anymore, because whenever you fall in a pit, whenever a pit appears on the map, this scary, really well designed, like visually thing comes and you have to escape the pit. And what's even better than the Night Cage is that if you fall into a pit, now you have to spend, I don't know how many turns getting out. Because you can only move once. So if you fall into a pit, you're basically off the main board. And you have to also probably hope that no candles appear or no keys appear in that pit, or somebody else is going to have to jump in the pit and get the key. I guess that could make for something exciting. Or the key just disappears, and it's another reason of, oh, let's just flip something up and see what happens. God, this game is so bad. I don't feel this passionate. I'm sorry, Smirk and Dagger. Like, I like your other stuff, to be clear. Okay, recognition for the Night Cage. Dice Tower gave it seal approval. Can't trust their opinion for anything anymore. Sorry. The Ion Award for Light Game. That sounds made up, and probably is. Board Game Design Lab. Clearly, no designs have ever come forward of that. Board Game Design Workshop. It was a finalist. Thankfully, there must have only been 2 games in there, and it still barely made the finals. PAX South Indie Showcase, an official selection, well, never going there. DreamHack Indie Spotlight, yeah, emphasis on the hack. Let's see, reviews. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Even if I'm just mentioned here, I bet I'll be mentioned here. The hair-raising, atmospheric, producing experience, mechanisms bring the theme to life in a way that most board games don't. Okay. Closest thing to a real nightmare that I've played. You know what I mean? I agree with that. I agree with that review. It is the closest thing to a real nightmare that I've ever played. But you see the common theme here is atmosphere, atmosphere, atmosphere. Because that's the only thing that people can say about it. Because that's the only thing that is good about the game. It provides a really nice atmosphere if you create the atmosphere around it. For the rules, though, oh, you know what? I'll give it to you. Look how close to the top of the page it is. I feel a little bit bad, but you know what? I'm happy for your success now. This is what the rulebook at the top of the page can do. Let's see what this actually adds to the game. Ooh, some 6 shrieks, some more cracked passageways, and 2 pathbreakers and 4 light eaters. So just some different monsters to throw in there. Just this hollow board beside it. Jeez, why? Oh, why does this even need an expansion? I've got an expansion for you. It's an actual candle that you can use to set it on fire. Yeah, so basically this fixes one teeny tiny aspect of the game in that everything you do in the main game is boring. And so in this one, going into a pit is now a little less boring. But you still have to just draw tiles to get out of the pit. And God, that just sounds so absolutely inane. Jeez. I wish I was muted. For this whole, because then I could just skip it. Technical difficulties. Oh, or you can fall into a pit in the hollow. Or move on to a key tile in the hollow. Only this prisoner will leave the hollow. Oh, and you know what's great? You can just be eaten by the other, and you just go back to the main board. Oh my god. You'd be forcibly ejected to the main board. So this doesn't even matter. So this whole progression of this thing creeping up on you, it's just like, you'll go back to the main board. The other smothers the prisoner as it moves. Take a 3-tile penalty, and lights go out. Oh no. But you still go back to the main board. So you just lose 3 tiles. That's really not that bad. Prisoner moves on to a key tile on the main board. All prisoners in the hollow are ejected but remain lit. Okay, so you can just like teleport them out. That's exciting. Can't believe I just used the word exciting related to the night cage. 3 shrieks are drawn while the other is in the hollow. The other is one of the most terrifying monsters you will ever encounter in the night cage. Okay, what happens when it gets on the main board? It just chases them. But what happens when you get hit? Oh, you get a 3-point penalty and you fall into the hollow. And then it goes back to the hollow. So it's just going to eat you eventually. I can't even... How to play highlights. See, the issue with this game is that you can just literally walk back and forth over and over and over again. Like, I'm upset at how much I dislike this game because I don't feel like I can ever show my face around the Smirk and Dagger people ever again. And it sucks because they're nice people, but really, a $30 value. What else have you done, Smirk and Dagger? Let me just like be nice to you for 1 second. Let me regain. Oh, they did Boop. Boop looks so good. Tesseract looked good. The Spill looked really great. I don't think I looked at the role-playing party game, which is weird because I should have if it was on Kickstarter. And then BHEX? I don't remember BHEX. Maybe I missed it. It was March 2022. I think I missed this one. Maybe I missed it. Sometimes games have a short campaign, and if I'm ahead, then I miss them. But yeah, the Spill looks good. The Spill is potentially good. Don't play in the Night Cage. And I swear, we're doing our top 10 co-op games right now, and if I see the Night Cage on anyone's list, well, I'm glad you're having fun with it. That's all I can say. Because I like it when people like games. All right. I'm a big softie, and I hope you enjoy the things that you enjoy. Keep dodging the sun here. Shame on you. With these anticipated stretch goals, the Endbringer devours the stack from the top down. Oh no. Pathbreakers turns tiles into pits along a straight path. Oh no. I swear to God, if I was paying for this acrylic. What's the shipping? I hope it's like $1,000 and we can all get mad at something. Like the fact that somebody could spend $145 on the Night Cage. Oh, the fact that 664 people are spending this on the Night Cage? No! Seriously, everybody should be able to enjoy stuff that they like. $20 shipping, it's expensive, but it's kind of standard. $12 to the US is standard and decent. But the fact that there are 664 people, honestly, there needs to be 2 more because this is the devil's work. That's what it is. It's just, I can't say enough horrible things about this game. And if you ever were excited about this, I encourage you to stop being so. Seriously, just stop it. Just really don't do this to yourself. I care about your time and well-being. I know it's a fun little meme in our Discord, but I cannot express like how physically angry I'm getting that this is existing and that people are wasting their money on it. To be fair, I think everything in this expansion will make the Night Cage better. I just don't think it'll make it a good game. Right now, it's a 1 out of 10 for me. And not a Zach scale 1 out of 10, like a real 1 out of 10. You know what? I'd probably put it as a 2 out of 10 because people don't take 1s seriously. People think 1s are on the extreme or like you haven't played the game. So I'd probably put a 2 out of 10. This would bring it up to, I could see it bringing it up to a 3 out of 10. I was going to say 3.5, but that's honestly way too generous. And now I've just moved it down to a 2.5. 2.5 to 3. Okay? Don't do it. Anything but this. That's not true. If it's between this and Dicktective, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. That's how bad. If it's between this and that premature game, honestly, I think you're going to get the same gameplay experience. Depending upon the atmosphere. This one you like candles and the other one you like, I don't know what. You also like candles. You set the mood. In both cases, you would be better lighting yourself on fire. The one thing I can say about this game, before we move on, is that it really captures the theme correctly. Because I really do feel like I am in an inescapable nightmare filled with monsters that are just clawing away at all my happiness. And I feel like I'll never be happy again playing this game. I guess the theme is they really hit the nail on the head. And it sucks because the art is actually so creepy and scary. And if this were a good game, this could be incredible. But the art's just wasted on just horrible monstrosity. Anyway, I don't think I like it that much. I don't know if I made that clear. I think maybe I need to be a bit more clear on that. I don't think it's that good. Because, okay, I don't even think I explained the game. So for those of you who didn't watch my review, let me explain how the game works. Let's see these how to play highlights. Yeah, you're on a path and you illuminate the 4 things around you. You then move to a different part of that path and you illuminate those things around you. You see, you're touching stuff. Ooh, look, it's illuminated. And then whatever you leave behind disappears. So that later on, you can then literally just walk back in that direction and illuminate more things. You're trying to find a key. But there's only one monster in it in the base game. And so it's a monster that shoots in a straight line. So if you walk into a path and things are shooting in a straight line, you then just walk back to the other path. And so the reason why the Shrieking Hollow is existing is to kind of stop that walking back and forth, because sometimes the paths will be cracked and then you fall into darkness, into a pit. And so it makes you move around and provides a little bit more of a tension of that thing. But the penalty from being eaten by the Shrieking thing isn't even interesting. You just lose 3 tiles. Who cares? Yeah, you could lose all 3 of your key tiles, but that might have happened anyway. It just sucks. Everybody needs to get a key, and then you go to a gate, and that's it. And it says you can even play this with 5, but you're supposed to play it with 4, and then it's a weird change for 5 that doesn't matter whatsoever. So it's really a 1 to 4 player game. Anyway, we're done. We're moving on. That finishes Friday, October 20th at 12. It should be finishing Friday, October the 13th, because never has such misfortune befallen the board gaming hobby other than this. However, that's not the case. It's Friday, October 20th. At 12 a.m. We're moving on. Thank goodness. I forgot this was in this week. This is the worst week of Crowdfunding Countdown. I've got bad blood, and I wish we could solve it. I wish we could. I've spent way too long on this 1920s inspired playing cards with a devilish murder mystery game. So there's a murder mystery game in the playing cards? I don't know. I want us to look at it, so let's look at it together. I told you, murder mysteries is the key to my heart, apparently. I'd like to come up with the mystery of how the devil tricked everybody into believing that the night cage was more than just kindling for a fire. Well, they use acrylic tiles. Can't burn that. I'm on to you. I mean, it's a cool art style of these cards, and they're also a murder mystery card game. These cards are cool. $15 cool? I'm not sure. It says a well-documented journal helps you solve the mystery, but I think it was only 1 journal card. That's what I'm confused about. Here's the journal. 40 plus pages. Okay, cool. But you only get the journal if you spend $45? This is stupid. I'm assuming that the journal card lets you get an online version of the journal, right? Because it says it's featuring a devilish murder mystery. 1 QR digital journal card. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. That makes sense. So yeah, if you pay $15 to get a digital copy of the journal where you can still look through, you can do a little murder mystery, and you need to use the cards to figure out the murder. I do declare. Shipping's in here. It seems like it's $10 to anywhere, because it's just a deck of cards. Is it cheaper in the States? It's being shipped from Australia. No, Australia. From California. It's $5 to the States, $10 to anywhere else. So it's $25 for this potential murder mystery. Like, honestly, love the art style. I actually think it's a beautifully designed deck of cards. Like, elegant, not too much, but I'm also just fine with a bicycle deck. But if that interests you, that finishes Friday, October 20th. Better than the Night Cage. Let's move along to Theme Park Mania. Build a theme park together. Build an amusement park with 2 to 4 players. Connect your own rides and facilities. When the park opens, competition starts. Let's check it out. Okay. It seems like another theme park game that I forget what it's called. So congratulations, Theme Park Mania. You get it. There's 2 phases of the game. You're going to be building roads and railways and creating spaces for amusement park structures and rides, and then when those are built, then you can send your people through the park, walking through the park, and putting them at the different rides, getting money for whoever goes to the rides that you build. What I want to know is why it's interesting. Score victory points by building, expanding, and visiting rides. The first player to visit all rides will end the game directly. The player with the most victory points wins. 25 to 35 minutes per player. Okay. Standard edition, €49. That's what, 72? Yeah, 71 Canadian. Limited first edition, where you can get gold-painted miniature mascots. 72. No thank you. But, like, also really cute. So, better than some deluxe editions that are out there. Give me the game rules. Let's go right ahead. Like, 2/3 to 3/4 down the page, but there's a little tab on the side. I can't believe how long it took Kickstarter to give those tabs on the side. But they did it. Watch out, GameFound. Time to innovate more. So how you designate who owns the amusement park ride. Place your ticket booth right in front of it. Then you can boost it up with different facilities. So this building a theme park thing seems fun in terms of how you build your road down. You're going to all have around the same money. So you're just going to have to really enjoy the tile placement aspect of it. I don't see much strategy to be had there because everything you do either gives you money or gives you things that'll give you a point. Oh, but you can still go back and expand the theme park when it's open. I see. Okay, then you can play cards and visit rides. I think playing cards, I saw a lot of the cards are like how many spaces you can move. Oh, it's going to bother me. Maybe 10 Penny Parks? I can see it in my mind. I just can't remember the name. Somebody drop in the comments. You know which game I'm talking about that looks... It's theme park related. I think 10 Penny Parks is the one by the people who did Role Player and Lockup and Cartographers. Thunderworks. Thunderworks games. That's what they are. But I don't know if this is that or if this is another one. It might be another one. Cool. So the more rides and the more things that are out there, the more you get and the longer the game extends, right? Because the game ends when someone's visited every ride. So people are frantically building more rides to try to keep the game going. But you just have to pay the person off to build the ride, and usually it's like 50%. So it's better for you to go to every ride rather than build every ride. I don't know. In a 4-player game, it's better to build the rides. So it'll depend on the player count. Yeah, and then you just have a bunch of different cards that you can play. Some of them being movement cards, allowing you to move around. This is also, I guess there's also a competition to lock down the best spots in the park that you can expand with a number of different facilities, right? So that also could be fun. Yeah, this seems fun. Seems cute enough. Doesn't seem $100 cute, which is what it'll be for me. Shipping, what is the shipping? Shipping to Europe is 15 euros. Shipping to US and Canada, 20, right? So we're looking at about $100 to get to me. Use of AI. Most artwork is designed by hand, but for the rides and facility cards, we've used the assistance of AI to draw parts of the illustrations for us. You're going to start seeing this in every Kickstarter. I mean, and you're also, do you have the consent of the owners of works that were or will be used to produce the AI-generated portion of your projects? No, while generating AI images, we used custom generic prompt, theme park concept art, without specific artists or owners, and in most cases, we made a sketch of the desired result, which was then generated and manually retouched using Photoshop. You're going to see this in so many games. You will. And you know what? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. It didn't matter in Terraforming Mars. It didn't. Terraforming Mars still made $1.5 million. It's not going to matter here. People will pick it for the game mechanics. That's just how it is. That's just how it's going to be. But yeah, this one looks cute. I think the mechanics of it look pretty cute. You'll also see people answering that question in as vague a way as possible. And it's interesting. You'll probably see people... Does everybody need one of these right now? Let's see. Let's go back through. Everybody kind of has one. But, oh yeah, GameFound doesn't require you to do it. That's interesting. I wonder if there's one of these where they don't put it as a label, right? Like art and design, that's just in the risks and the challenges area. Guaranteed you're going to get some people who like aren't going to put it in their breakdown over here. Guaranteed. Anyway, I think it looks fun. I think it looks like a quick little game, but I also would never want to pay $100 for it. But if that interests you, that finishes Friday, October 20th at 12 p.m. Moving along to Dark Tomb, Bloodthorn Island, a full dungeon crawler that fits in your pocket. The new Dark Tomb adventure is coming, and it's epic! This one's raised $229,000. Wow! Somebody said they were really excited about this and that I had to check it out, and luckily, I already had it on my list before they said that. So, yeah, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for me, is what I'm saying. Let's check it out. This looks pretty cool. I'll be honest. I didn't listen to a single word of that video. Thought I would get through this before the sun went down. I think we will. What? No, you spend too much time on these things. Leave me alone. Get out of here. No, please stay. Please. Dark Tomb is a full cooperative dungeon crawler in an ultra-portable pocket-sized tin. Its ease of setup and fast play is perfect for a quick adventure while grabbing a coffee or waiting for a meal. 1 to 4 play cooperatively as characters. An additional player can play as the monster. Great, good explanation. 1 to 5 players, 15 to 40 minutes, 1 minute prep. 4 characters. Von Clay is the only character you ever need to be, and that is over Forage. 8 monsters. Trap Ray. 6 stage guidelines. 15 map cards. 4 powerful new characters to choose from. Oh, characters are fully playable with Dark Tome Crypts of Aurelian. So this has been done before? Did I say Tome? Jesus, it's Tomb! Oh, this is awful. If I say Dark Tome, I'm gonna be pretty upset. When was this funded? September 2022. Isn't that now? No, it's 2023. Did I look at this? Did I miss this one too? Jeez, I am not doing well. No, I didn't miss Paragons. I actually covered it very well, and I stand by it. No, I did cover it. I covered it in episode 64. Oh, it was the same time as Tainted Grail and Gay Son of the board game. So, clearly, there was a reason why I forgot about it. Man, that Crowdfunding Countdown guy, he can talk! Yeah, okay, I did cover it. And I remember now covering it. See, this is also great. This is why I keep that Crowdfunding Countdown master list, which is linked in literally every video, so I don't have to worry about linking it in just specific ones. I keep that up to date. I keep that very up to date. on all of the over 1,500 campaigns that we have covered. If you want to remind yourself on some thoughts because you can't keep 1,500 campaigns in your head all at once, then you can go back and always check that out. Ah, the sun's behind a cloud. I can give a little bit of a better background in my little circle. Do we like this little circle? I mean, I did it for WSBG and I was like, you know what? It does look a bit nicer. Does it feel like MTV? MTV, you know, the pop-ups where they pop up and chirp people playing games? I think that would be a good idea for a video. I came up with that completely on my own and was not told to do that by anyone else at all. No, that's my idea, and I'm taking it. Yeah, so what is this? How much is it going to be? 20 bucks again? 20 bucks, good, which is 20 Canadian, and then shipping. Shipping is $7 to the US. That's pretty good. 15 to Canada. Not so great. So it'd be 35 to get to my door, so like 50. And yeah, and again, for $50, I agree with past Chris. Am I going to really want a pocket-sized tin for $50? I don't think so. I think this mechanically looks sound. I think it's a really cool concept. I think this gives you more of what the previous one did, just different arrangements. You can see that in any dungeon that you pull out, you're then going to put the different cards around it. So you start with a setup and everything is randomized. So items are randomized, monsters and stage tiles are randomized. So you go through rolling a dice, seeing if it gets past the armor stat. And if it does, you deal damage. Very basic dungeon crawling. And also, the last one said that there was a different level of action. So yeah, there wasn't a rulebook back then, and there still isn't a rulebook on this page now, which honestly is unacceptable. It's unacceptable until I find the rulebook at the bottom of the page. No, it's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable when you have a previous game. You have the rulebook of the previous game and you don't have it readily available for people. That's stupid. However, I do like that you get to move and then take an action, and just like Scythe, you don't take the same action again. So it's a little action selection. I like that a lot when you're talking about games. 27 bucks to get to you in the US though. So if pocket tins are your speed, I can see this being interesting to a lot of people. I think it's incredible that it's raised so much money. This only raised $56,000 last time, and it's sitting at $170,000 this time, which is just exceptional. It shows that people have really enjoyed it the first time. It did its job on the first Kickstarter, and this, I'm sure, has smashed any of their expectations. If you like those pocket-sized games, this seems like it would fit right in with you. For me, I don't play the pocket-sized games. I know I don't. Even if I have them, I just don't take them with me because I have my designated game nights, and that's just sort of what I end up doing. But if this interests you, check it out. The finish is Friday, October 20th at 11 p.m. Moving along to our final game of the week, because yeah, there's Yokai Quest, but I bet this is also one where they'll charge you $15 just for a rulebook. They thought that was a dumb idea? Well, it was such a dumb idea that you just earned me never covering you for just ever. So our last one of the week, we've got Aberration by Ghostfire Gaming, a cooperative tower defense board game of horror and survival. Can you survive the night? I'm so happy you are here, Aberration, and I swear to God, the fact that you're at 130 and the Night Cage is sitting at 197. No, everybody from the Night Cage needs to cancel their pledge and come over and purchase the Aberration right now. And I'm saying that having zero idea of what this game does. I guarantee you will get a better game out of it if you do. Don't care what it costs. Don't care the difference in cost. It's not $145. And even if it is, I'm going to advise you go, oh, it's $149. For the deluxe edition, $149 for this, or you can get the Night Cage. Like, what are you people doing? Let's go, Aberration. I hope you're good, but even if you aren't, I'm still backing you wholeheartedly if it's between the Night Cage and this. Spooky, scary, towers, tower defense, horror, and survival. I really love this board. This board is very evocative of tower defense video games or any of those scenarios where monsters are encroaching and you don't know where they're coming from. I think that idea is pretty scary. I'm not sure about these little tokens, because if the tokens are a mystery of what monsters are coming at you, you may really not need the minis. So anyway, but they got me with these buzzwords: asymmetric player powers, bag building, and cooperative worker placement. Well, I don't really care about cooperative worker placement, but the other two, yeah. I don't know why they're saying an aberrant bear. They could have just said bear. It would have been the same thing. Rogoch, grotesquerie. Oh, no, that's a cute little stump. I'd give it a little hug. Hug a tree. Don't hug that one. Hordes! Yeah, okay, this is the deluxe edition. I want to see if there's minis in the standard edition. That's really what I want to see before we look at the rulebook. Heroes! Probably just Spellcasters deluxe edition. Yeah, we get it. I really don't like this. It's like, hey, this is all the deluxe edition. Yes, thank you. Thank you for giving me this thing. I love that this is highlighted though. Great. See, this is how you do a chart. Look, here's the difference. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. That's it. That's all you need to worry about. How much is the standard edition? It's just the minis versus standees for monsters. That's it. And you're paying like another $70 just for the minis? Yeah, I think this is one where you probably don't need them because of how things are revealed. Hi, Joey. I put on Joey duty. Much better than jury duty. Right, Joey boy? That's an aberration if I ever saw one. Okay. Gameplay. I don't want gameplay features. I want gameplay. Well, fine. I want gameplay features first. Oh, that's cool. I really love that you can make all of your characters asymmetric. You choose a character who has their own little unique ability, and then you choose what their class is. That's fun. 70 unique map combinations. I would have been fine with just the regular map. I don't see how a map combination really does difference. Oh, 70 unique ones. How many map tiles are there? Let's go back to the product comparison. 4 double-sided map tiles. So there's essentially 8 map tiles. You might hear growling in the background, but that's just to set the tone because it's so spooky scary, right? It's just so spooky scary. So I guess if you're just doing 8. Oh yeah, and different orientations, that's cool. Yeah, the unique fog of war, shadow and light mechanic. You can venture the darkness, light fires, uncover what lurks in the shadows, right? So some of the monsters will appear and you won't know who they are, and some of the monsters you will know who they are because you have the fires out there. The aberrant process grants new abilities, increased power. Cool, that's cool. I just realized I don't have to purchase 10 copies of this. I just need to go back and make sure that I wasn't featured. Peter brings 15 years of game design to the table, having worked on popular titles like Lords of Waterdeep. That's cool. Are we going to make it to the dark? I don't know. These take a long time. There's no point in doing anything if you don't do it properly, right? That's my opinion. Yeah, pump yourself up. Speaking of doing things properly, I swear to God, if there isn't a rule book here, maybe it's worse than the Night Cage. Yeah, that's how mad I'll friggin' be. Where's the rule book, people? Joey's friggin' upset about it. Ugh. Because I want to know things. I want to know the fighting mechanics. I want to know what the corruption does for you. I don't want to know that it just does things. I want to know what it does. God damn it, Aberration. You were this close. We hear you. Here's what we're going to do. What are we going to do? They dropped their prices. That's nice. Okay, great. You're dropping your prices. Still, where's the rulebook? Yeah, they adjusted their prices. But still want to know where the rules are. I'm very upset right now. Here we're taking a deep dive. And the monsters, they're coming. They're closing in on me. Do you hear them? Maybe I filtered them out. So they're showing us different scenarios in their updates. And a bunch of different scenarios. You know what would be a better update? If you said, here's how to play the frickin' game. I don't understand why it's been 2 years of me harping on this. I don't understand why this isn't the norm right now. I hope that I miss it. I always hope that I miss it. I mean, it looks cool. It actually looks legitimately cool, and I'd love to recommend it, but I can't if I haven't taken a look underneath it. That's very disappointing. What a way to end. One last chance. One last chance. No files found. I'm legitimately really disappointed right now. Beautiful chart, cool concept, but you don't back for a concept. There are too many other great choices out there that explain what they're going to do. And I get that they've got all these gameplay videos. I understand this. I'm aware, yeah. But you shouldn't have to watch 6 videos to get a full grasp of the rules, and especially if there's specific things that you want to look at, right? Like when I look at a game, I look at it in a pretty targeted way. And I want to see, basically, if I like the gameplay overview, I want to see the exact specifics of it to see how fun I can envision it being, or if it's just a promise, right? There are some games, not to mention any names, that give you a really great promise. They give you a promise of a game. They say, this is the game, this is the feeling you're going to get. You know, and some games out there, not naming any names, but they say this is the feeling you get. You're going to get a feeling of terror, you're going to get a feeling of spookiness, etc. And then you get the game, and it's absolute garbage because the mechanics of it don't support it, right? They don't support that theme. And so it's all well and good to say, yeah, look how exciting this punching in the face is going to be. The revealing, it all seems great. But then when you actually look underneath, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. I hope it is. I hope it is every friggin' time. Geez, $100 Canadian for a miniatures box. Yeah, you can deal with standees. You're fine. And this standard edition for 110 Canadian plus shipping. What is the shipping? Oh, standard edition, $20 to the US, 28 to Canada. So it's like 140, right? Like absolutely zero chance I would spend that money without a full look at the rules, and I'm literally trying to find it. Oh, an updated schedule, so you know what's going to happen. Okay, maybe it's there. There are rules out there. These people have been given them. Why are you not showing your backers? And often they're hidden. They're weirdly hidden in these, and it makes me mad that they're hidden, but at least they're there. I'm not seeing them in there either. So that's unfortunate. I thought you looked cool, Aberration. Puts you on the same level as Night Cage. You know why? Because the only thing the Night Cage did right is having their rulebook friggin' right near the top of the page. And this lets you know that you can choose. You can choose in the Night Cage. You can choose to decide if that game is going to be right for you or not. Because a lot of people, my patrons included, they're like, you know what? I legitimately enjoy the Night Cage, and I'm not upset about it. And that's great. I think that's absolutely wonderful and should be incredibly commended. That's what we're going to leave this episode off of. Me commending the Night Cage Aberration. That should show you what you've done. We're all upset about this result. We're all really upset. And that looks nothing like my niece, whose name is Thea. Just really disappointing. But that's what crowdfunding gives us. Crowdfunding gives us a sea of disappointment week after week. So every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. A pick for me being the thing that I'm the most interested in. Pick for you being the thing that I think you should get if you like it. This week, yeah, you know what? I got a pick for you. The pick for you is legitimately going to be Dark Tomb. I said that right. Yeah, thank God. Pick for you is Dark Tomb. I get it. I get the appeal. This feels well structured and well made. Also doesn't have a rulebook on the page though. No, screw it. No pick for you this week. No pick for me. That's just what it is. Pick for you is to give your pal Joey a little hug. Come here. Say hi to the people. You good boy. Yeah, no pick for you this week. No pick for me this week. Really. I was thinking as I was going through, Gold Nugget maybe. Sirens. Paragons actually looks okay. Storyburg, Forage. Just nothing really draws me in. Theme Park Mania is the closest to being a pick for me, honestly. And the pick for you would have been Dark Tomb if they had the rulebook on the page, but they don't, so it's not. That's it. I just don't think it's a good week. It's just not that great a week of crowdfunding. Go back to the week where there was like 8 picks and go pick one of those. That was the Potions of Azurland Mythic Mischief week. That was a good week. Not every week is good, and there's a lot of games that I think would be good, that I think would be like 3 out of 5s, you know? 6 out of 10 when you do the multiplier, so not good. But it sounds better being a 3 out of 5 than a 6 out of 10. I think that's why I like the 5-point system instead of the 10-point system, because if I ever got a 6 out of 10 in my life, I would feel horrible. Just how I was raised. So 3 out of 5 is better. So they only missed 2 points. Anyway, there's nothing here this week. I think there are games in here that would be fine and would be enjoyable, but I think the bar needs to be higher. The bar always needs to be higher. Good is not good enough. There's so many people who get games that are just good or just might be okay. I'm like, why are you wasting your money on that? Spend your time, and more importantly, your time. Your time is so valuable. Your time is so much more valuable. And if you're wasting your evening on playing mediocre games when you could be playing your favorite games, like, that ain't it. So no picks this week. No pick for you, no pick for me. I want to grab a game that's around me right now. You know, the pick for you is Azul. If you don't have yourself a copy of Azul, every single person who, like, doesn't play games that I introduce it to loves it and, like, goes out and gets a copy. And I think it's such an extraordinary element of Azul. Maybe I should make a video on all the Azuls. That would be a good one. I haven't played the 3rd one and don't have access to it though, so I have to get that. But it's just like, that's such an exceptional game for bringing people into this hobby, which is cool. Really cool that sort of thing exists. Yeah, so that's the pick. And if you already own Azul, well, you don't get anything then. And Azul's like $40, cheaper than anything you can get on Kickstarter. Right? Like, this is the standard we have to hold ourselves to, and I will keep on repeating it over and over again, but not in a way that makes it a catchphrase, because you know what? I'm Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase. I wish I could come up with one. I guess that might give me the grounds to come up with one, but what can you do? Let me know what you're interested. Let me know what you're talking about. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button if you haven't, or don't. Whatever. I don't care. I just hope you have a good day. But, like, it probably helps me out, so costs you nothing, helps me out. Just do it automatically next time. If you're here and you're forgetting, shame on you. Thanks for being here, though. Shame on you for being here, and see you later. See you next one.